Welcome to my super spooky, okay, maybe not so spooky, but my Halloween episode that's a little bit scary because what could possibly be scarier than, a medical audit? Hey there, welcome to my channel. I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, and content creator. And on my channel, I provide tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you be successful in your medical coding career. So welcome to my Halloween Spooktacular episode. I thought it would be fun today if we did just some medical coding game slides, and I'll put them in the comments so that if you want to download them, I'll just make them available if you want to use them next year for your chapter meetings or whatever. So get ready because I've prepared some really cute slides to go over about some Halloween-y themed diagnoses. Get your ICD-10-CM book ready and get that pause button ready because we're going to look at the diagnosis. You can help look it up and then see if you match me on the ICD-10-CM code selection. Now before we get into the game, first look how cute this headscarf thing is. Check that out. Yeah. Loving it? Okay, this might be a new style for me. Anyway, so in case you're not interested in the game, I wanted to tell you guys a fun story. So if you don't want to stick around for the game, at least stick around for this story. So if you're familiar with my How I Became a Medical Coder story, which I told on the Alpha Coding Experts podcast and the Not Elsewhere Classified podcast, and I think on AAPC Social Hour once, and a bunch of different seminars and stuff I've spoken to. So I grew up as a very, very goth kid. That's part of the whole story of how I became a medical coder. So one of the things I want to talk about today was how I was actually wearing these boots the very first time I met a medical coding consultant. When I went to school for medical coding, I have a certificate in medical coding. Actually, if you're looking for a certificate, check that comment below because I have a deal for you. But when I went, I was about 24 years old. So I was in the midst of my medical coding studies and I went to a lovely little event that they hold in Philadelphia known as Dracula's Ball. Dracula's Ball is this big gothic vampire steampunk event that they have in Philadelphia. It used to be held in Club Shampoo, but they've moved it to different venues as of the past few years. So it was a very big event. There's lots of different dance floors and dance parties and, all kinds of party things going on. There was actually all ages, I think, on the second floor, and then the first floor was where you could drink and have fun with all of your adult vampire-y friends. So I was there with one of my gentleman friends at the time, and he had some lady friends that had joined us. We were all having a good time and drinking, and of course the drink du jour of Dracula's Ball is the Red Death. If you're not familiar with the Red Death, it is a mix of various types of spirits, including grenadine, which makes it a very red, like blood type of drink. So there I am, 24 at Dracula's Ball, having a good old time. I've got lots of red deaths in me. So we're downstairs in the lounge, which is this big, like, crushed red velvet and drapey, like, red velvet drapes type of area. And the gentleman friend that I was with was talking to this other guy who was dressed in this, like, very dark black gothic suit with this, like, jaunty bowler's cap. And he introduces me and he goes, "Oh, yes, and this is my friend Victoria. She's going to school right now for medical billing." So this guy in this bowler's cap turns to me and goes, "Oh, are you more of an ICD-9 or a CPT kind of girl? I actually work as a medical coding consultant." Oh my God, you guys. It was like, okay, so first off, I'm, quite intoxicated at that point, and never in my life did I think that I would make that kind of an industry connection at Dracula's Ball of all places. But that was the first time I had ever encountered a coding consultant. So missed connection. If you know anyone in the Philadelphia area that likes going to Dracula's Ball and wearing bowler caps, tell him to look me up because I've developed quite a bit since we first had our encounter at Dracula's Ball. So enough of that shenanigans. Let's get into the coding game. All right, starting out super spooky, this big red eyes, diagnosis, bilateral red eyes. So we're going to go with conjunctivitis for this one because that's like a red eye condition. Okay. So, diagnosis code, H10.9, unspecified conjunctivitis. So the interesting thing about this one is I don't know if it does have a code that is necessarily bilateral. for that, for the unspecified. Let me double check. Yeah, unspecified conjunctivitis, H10.9. How about that? So if we were looking for more specificity out of our providers for something that was unspecified like this, we'd be looking for like acute, chronic, toxic, serous. There's a lot of different types of conjunctivitis, and we don't want to always go right to our default codes. But in this case, it works. Next, let's take a look. Oh my God, diagnosis, first degree burn of lip due to hot pumpkin spice latte. I hope that never happens to any of you. And then caffeine dependence as our secondary diagnosis. Bum, bum, bum. First code, T20.12XA, burn of first degree of lips initial encounter. Contact with hot drinks initial encounter. Did you catch that one? X10.0XXA. And then other stimulant dependence uncomplicated F15.20. Next diagnosis. Overeating candy. I have personally, of course, never done this myself. R63.2. Polyphagia. Polyphagia, of course, meaning excess eating. This one's a little bit more spooky. Diagnosis, bitten by a vampire bat. Let's get into diagnosis. W55.81XA. Be careful with a lot of these diagnoses because they require that 7th character extension for initial, subsequent, or sequela. And remember, you always have to have those placeholders. So if there's a spot in the middle between that where you need to put in that A or D or S or whatever it is for that 7th character extension, you got to fill them in with those placeholders, that character X. Next, moving right along, diagnosis, laceration of the left thumb while carving pumpkins. S61.012A, laceration without foreign body of the left thumb without damage to the nail initial encounter. Because again, in this one we didn't specify if there was a foreign body, so we're going to assume that there wasn't. It doesn't say there was damage to the nail, so again, we're going to assume there was not damage to the nail. Diagnosis, foreign body in the neck. Okay, with our little Frankenstein guy here. S10.95XA, there's that X placeholder again. Superficial foreign body of unspecified part of neck initial encounter. That was the closest code I could find. I couldn't find anything for like a deep embedded thing of the neck. And it doesn't, I mean, we could maybe consider it, I mean, it's Frankenstein's monster. I don't know if maybe we could consider it like a misadventure or surgery or something like that. Maybe there's something there that we could find. Next diagnosis, this is me, definitely for sure. Diagnosis, fear of spiders. My boyfriend actually just caught one in the kitchen and texted the picture to me while I'm working here. Arachnophobia, so that's diagnosis F40.210. So those F codes, remember, are a lot of our mental health, behavioral health codes, the F codes. Whoa, look at that furry guy. Diagnosis, bizarre personal appearance, and that's our clown buddy here. I'm not a big clown fan. I used to have, I don't remember if it was my aunt or my uncle, but someone in their household, if it was the aunt or the uncle, had a collection of ceramic clowns, and it always creeped me out as a kid. So, R46.1, bizarre personal appearance. Now this one's a little bit of a stretch, but okay, so restrictive eating disorder, because zombies, they like to eat brains. That's what they go like brains, and they just eat brains. So we can code the diagnosis for restrictive eating disorder because all they eat is brains, right? So F50.89, other specified eating disorder. This is not super Halloween, maybe a little more storytelling typey thing, but consuming a poison apple. All right. T65.93XA, toxic effect of unspecified substance assault, initial encounter. Look out, Snow White. Diagnosis, hirsutism. So if you're not familiar with that, that's when you grow a lot of hair, like a werewolf, like our werewolf friend right here. Pointing down to him this way, there we go, pointing down to him, he has a lot of hair, hirsutism. So that diagnosis is L68.0. Nightmare disorder, because these ladies here stayed up all night watching spooky movies, you know, like I don't do that. When it comes to spooky movies, I like the classic ones where it's just the guy with the axe and he's chasing after people. I don't like the things where people are getting like tortured and things. That's just way too much for me. So these ladies, they were up all night watching those kind of gross movies, and they have nightmares, and they've got nightmare disorder. So that is diagnosis F51.5 nightmare disorder. So this one's my personal fave. They released the Kraken, release the Kraken, and you got struck by him. That would be diagnosis code W5682XA, struck by other non-venomous marine animals, initial encounter. So I hope you enjoyed my fun Halloween slides. Again, if you want me to make Thanksgiving and Christmas ones, definitely drop a comment and let me know, and I will leave a copy of the slide deck either in the description of the video or in the comment section. Make sure you check it out. So I hope you enjoyed my Halloween Spooktacular. Hey, if you like these kind of events and you want me to do something like this for Thanksgiving and Christmas, you won't want to miss it when I do, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get alerts when I post new episodes. I will see you in the next episode, and until then, just keep on coding on.